All right, let's talk about a feeling that I think a lot of us know really, really well. It's that middle class money squeeze, right? That constant juggling out between what's coming in and what's going out. But what if there was a simple roadmap to finally get out of that cycle for good? Well, let's dive in.
Wow, does this hit home or what? Limited income, unlimited responsibilities. This perfectly captures that core struggle. The second your salary lands in your account, it feels like it already has a dozen places it needs to be. It's such a universal feeling, you know? And that's exactly why having a plan isn't just a nice idea. It's absolutely essential.
So, first up, let's break down what we call the middle class money trap. It's this cycle that is so incredibly easy to fall into, but feels almost impossible to break out of if you don't have a clear strategy. Take a look at this list. Does it look a little too familiar? The salary comes in and boom, it's immediately carved up. Rent or an EMI, groceries, school fees, all the bills. And that's not even counting the surprise medical costs or the social events you have to attend. Every single one feels like a non-negotiable slice of the pie.
And here's the painful reality. By the time the end of the month rolls around, the bank account is empty. The money is just gone. But there was no real direction, no plan for the future. It's just this stressful cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, no matter how hard you're working. But this is where we need to kind of shift our whole perspective. The common belief is that the problem is the size of our paycheck. But what if the real issue, the core problem, is something else entirely?
And this right here, this is the main idea. We all think, oh, if I just earned a little more, my problems would be solved. But the real problem isn't the amount of money, it's the lack of a clear direction for that money. It's about not telling your money where it needs to go.
So, what's the solution?
It's financial planning. And forget all the complicated jargon. At its heart, financial planning is incredibly simple. It's just the art of preparing the money you have today for the life you want tomorrow. It's all about being proactive instead of constantly being reactive.
So, how do we actually do that? How do we get proactive? Well, the answer is to build a solid foundation. Let's walk through this simple but super powerful 5-pillar plan that will give every single dollar you earn a clear job to do. Okay, here they are. And I want you to think of this like building a house. You have to build these in order. First, you need a budget, so you actually know where your money's going. Second, you build up your emergency savings. Third, you get insurance to protect everything. Only then, after that foundation is solid, do you move on to investing for growth and finally, planning for retirement. The order here is absolutely critical. And this is exactly why so many people get it wrong. They hear about some hot new stock and they jump straight to step 4, investing, without any of the foundation in place. They totally ignore insurance, they have no emergency savings, and then what happens? One small crisis hits and the entire structure just collapses. It leads to so much stress and tension. All right, enough with the theory, let's get practical. How do you actually start putting your money to work and giving it that direction? Well, it all starts with the very first pillar, budgeting. The 50-30-20 rule is such a fantastic starting point. It's simple. 50% of your take-home pay goes to your absolute needs, things like rent and food. 30% is for your wants, the fun stuff like entertainment and shopping. But here's the real kicker. A non-negotiable 20% goes first into savings and investments. The most powerful habit you can build is to pay yourself first. Just automate it. Set up a transfer for that 20% the day you get paid so you never even see it. This is the money that's going to build your future. Now, a quick but really important warning that fits right in with budgeting. These monthly installments, or EMIs, they always seem so manageable, don't they? A small amount every month for that new phone or that TV. But these little payments are silent killers of your financial future. They just eat away at your income for months, sometimes years, and stop that money from going toward your real goals. Okay, let's talk about pillar 3, insurance. This is probably the most ignored pillar of them all, especially by younger people. There's this sense of being invincible, right? A feeling that, oh, bad things only happen to other people. But honestly, that mindset is one of the biggest financial risks your family can possibly take. Because look, the hard truth is that life is unpredictable. A single medical emergency, one accident, can wipe out years of savings in an instant and push a family deep into debt. Insurance isn't an expense. Think of it as a protective shield for everything you're working so hard to build. And finally, let's bust a big myth about that last pillar, retirement. For generations, the plan was pretty simple. Our kids would take care of us. But times have completely changed. Relying on the next generation just isn't a viable plan anymore. Real financial security means building your own self-sufficient retirement fund. So, after all these pillars and rules and plans, what are we really aiming for? What's the end game here? Well, the goal might not be what you think.
And honestly, this is the most important takeaway of all. For most of us, financial planning isn't about getting rich quick or becoming a millionaire overnight. It's about something so much more valuable. It's about creating a story of security for your family. It's about being able to sleep at night knowing that you're protected from shocks and you're on a clear path to your goals. So, I'll just leave you with this one question. We've established that your money desperately needs a direction. The framework is right here in front of you. The only thing left to decide is, what's your first step? Is it tracking your expenses for just 1 week? Is it calculating your 50-30-20 budget? Or maybe it's setting up that automated 20% transfer right now. The choice is yours.